Yo, it's Jeff Ross, Mike's hot, let's ride, caffeinated, kangaroo, cool, roll right, it's the label tip. I'm to plans like a hustle shift, this ain't hype. It's purpose, I'm kicking this was sold, the laptop that way. Reels AI, freedom in your grip, with a boom sauce beat and a real talk tip. So grab your boo, hit play, let's roll. You're the hero now, we're just here to soul. Let's bounce, legend in the Austin town where kangaroos coach and kings wear crowns. Show boom sauce, baby.
All right, all right, all right. Here we are back again. It's Laptop Lifestyle Dad Show Boom Sauce, baby.
I was, bopping out to it.
No, right? The tune's just this boppy tune. It's like
It is. It's one of those ones that they play on the radio that you can't get out your head for the rest of the day.
it's that what is it? That dead
Love it.
it gives you that dead dance going.
That's Players bopping out to that.
I'll tell you what.
It's probably good that we're off. It's probably good that we're off screen when that plays.
Maybe we should put it on screen so people can bop with us.
Well, maybe.
Hey guys, thank you very much for tuning in for actually Dave reminded me it's day 9, not day 8.
I thought it was there.
Bit of a whirlwind that's happening right now, right? But coming off the back of the last two conversations, right? The conversation I'm talking about is energy. And man, I learn so much from my own teaching sometimes in these conversations because it gets you to reflect. And it's like, hang on, we got to practice what we preach here. And sometimes in our space where we do operate out of low energy, and it is hard and it is forceful because you put yourself into those situations, and we've only got ourselves to really be held responsible to that, right? We've only got ourselves to put ourselves, it's our choice really, subconsciously or consciously, that we're there in that situation. We make our beds, we go lie in it.
We do. We do. All the excuses in the sun, but we're the ones who create the problems.
And I'm the king of justification. Like, I know I am. I can.
Well, I must be the prince then.
I can sell ice to an Eskimo, and I can sell myself, over and over again. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're relating to this, if you're cut from the same cloth. Because, look, I know when we find our tribe, we find our vibe, right? And I've been preaching that we're all somebody's guide, and I know that you're cut from the same cloth. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Giving us the permission to be your guides in this journey. Exactly. And, I really want to just drive that nail home. The only difference between you and I, me and Dave, you and anybody else, is how far down the path we are. How many hours of wisdom experience have we got from failing forward fast? Like, we just come off the back of the AI and Business Summit that we hosted for the Los Angeles Tribune. Like, Dave, that was some powerful conversations in there, right?
It was epic.
And right now, we're leveraging AI to help us to find our voice and elevate our voice. But the big thing that I took away from that whole conversation is AI is a really great amplification tool.
100%.
And the other thing, and I'll throw it over to you in a second so you can share your insights, but the other thing I took away from that conversation was there is lazy AI use and there is useful AI use. And as you're learning, you're getting into the basics. You got to learn to walk before you can run. You got to learn to crawl before you can walk. And so that's whole definition between lazy AI and useful AI. That is contextual to where you are on your journey.
Correct.
And I think the measurement stick, the yardstick for us to put against that is, on that learning curve, is AI amplifying me and supporting me and helping me to run a faster, bigger game? Is AI moving the needle forward faster, further? It's very easy in anything, AI aside, or any systems, right, to fall into ruts, into patterns of behavior, into natural operations. And I love that this is what we're doing. This whole 30-day content marketing mastery, it's helped me to get out of my own ruts, if you will, my own, processes like lazy AI use. And it's helped me to sharpen up the knife and sharpen up the tools and get back into that useful AI conversation.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents. Dave, what were your insights from not just the AI and Business Summit that we hosted yesterday, but from, the last 8 days that we've done here until this point? What's been some of your key insights?
Well, I guess with some of the stuff that was highlighted on the summit yesterday, I guess probably drove home more that what we're doing and how we're doing it is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, with the lazy AI use, if you don't actually know the foundations on, how to go about it or how to be a marketer or whatever it is that you're doing, then how can you train AI to amplify you? You
Right.
can't. You're taking its word that it is actually amplifying you. And I guess the other thing that I actually thought was interesting from yesterday, so that's not the same as what you were saying, is the variety of people that are using it and how they're using it. Like you've got, the wizards, so to speak, up here that, prompt engineers and they do all this sort of stuff. And then you've got, the other people down here and, sort of working through that, are just using it as like prompting by conversation, so
Yeah.
it's just, it is really a unique tool and it is really
Very powerful.
a great way. Yeah. And it's really a great way to amplify yourself and your voice because, you don't have to be a prompt engineer to get great results these
No, you
days.
don't.
Now that they've changed it to generative AI, you can just talk to it.
And I'm gonna echo that and go a little bit deeper with that. The main reason that most of us want to jump into AI now is because everybody else is doing it, right? It's attractive. And then and everybody here today is figuring out how it all works. Like, how can I really partner with it to the extent that you and I do? If I go back to the same reason when I first started 3 years ago, it was for the very same reason. But what the actual compulsion to go deeper in here in this space was, I wanted to work out how I could run a faster, bigger game, play a bigger, go from good to great. And so I was looking for solutions, I was looking for problems that were preventing me from moving forward. I was looking for those bottlenecks that were stopping me and others from moving forward. And so we went into solution creation mode. And at that time, and this is why we're doing content marketing mastery in our first signature program. Because at that time, and for everybody else here in this marketing space, this online business space, is it's not just the ability to create awesome content, which is what we're going to start shifting into, but it's understanding why, it's understanding how to do the psychology, it's understanding how to move people forward in that piece, right? That what we've just done, the voice, the attraction piece, the magnetic branding and messaging piece. So that was definitely one solution that I know that we're the best in the world that we can solve. And now we're going to shift into today's one. And basically, when I look back at it, when our first very, 5-day and 3-day boot camps that we ran, the problem that we were solving was the overwhelm, the procrastination, the not knowing what to write content, the not knowing how to show up content, and really sort of developing that. So I'm reflecting back, right? And so we were solving problems. We were putting problems in the rear view mirror. We were empowering, we were equipping, and we're still doing that today. And we're just playing a bigger, better game in that space. And now some of the problems that we can solve are bigger problems, are bigger solutions. And I've always said, every entrepreneurial game, right? You want to be a millionaire, you want to be a billionaire, you want to be wealthy in this space. Go solve bigger problems. Be a solution creator for bigger problems that have higher impact.
Yeah, that's why I loved what Johan was, going on about what he did with his business there yesterday. That was, amazing how he was using ChatGPT to restructure his whole business. And, that's the amazing power of it. But you still need to know those baselines to start with. If you didn't know about his business, it'd be useless to him.
Yeah, look, but that's wizard level
Oh,
useful.
for sure. Yeah,
And now
exactly.
we've got people here on this journey like Susie and Celeste and Daryl and even you and I when we first started, right? And so we've got our responsibility, and I'm very clear on this, Dave, is to help people to get to that wizardry level AI. And
Correct.
in that
Yes.
journey, we will get there ourselves. See,
Yep.
guys, what I'm expressing here is this whole guide by leading process. This is the hero makers conversation that we really all need to be looking at with our businesses. Now, I put an offer out there yesterday, and there's been actually been two people who took it, and I want you all to take it that you're here today. I've got room on my calendar. Let's get on a one-on-one, or actually get Dave on these calls as well, and let's
Yep.
get
I think,
me
yeah,
and
Susie reached out yesterday.
yeah, Susie took action. Well done, Susie.
Yeah.
Daryl's taken action. So let's
Yeah.
get, the opportunity for you to get on a call with us, and let's help you to map out this journey, this client flow, the customer value journey we are speaking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
to get clear on this, we need to know who it is you serve, what are the problems that you're looking to solve for your community, and be solution creators. And in this conversation, like this is not just a generous conversation. This is actually a little bit of a selfish conversation because
yes.
it goes two ways. Because this helps us identify what your key problems are, so we can be better solution creators.
Correct. Yeah, just gives us an opportunity to help you get unstuck if if you've got a roadblock somewhere, you're not sure how to implement something, you're confused a little bit, just get on that call, spend a little bit of time with us, and we'll definitely do our best, and I'm pretty sure we'll get you unstuck.
I just keep
So,
going while I get the Calendly link. So unpack that a
yeah,
little bit, Deb, on the capabilities. So like I know that Dave, you and I work together where you are that wizardry level for me. I can just go say, Dave, we've got this issue, and all of a sudden you'll solve it. So what are some of the things that you think you can do to help, say, like Daryl and Susie or Gail or Celeste?
well, really, again, I guess I really need to know, like yourself, what is actually, creating that stuck, or that's holding them back.
Right.
What part they don't understand of the journey, if there's a part of it, or if it's just a technical issue, with how to use ChatGPT, or some other software that they're using, as far as the LLM. And I guess that's where it's going to be, I guess selfish, as you said, but very important for us to have those conversations, because, we're not mind readers. We're giving out lots of information, and we also understand that, everybody's in a different spot in their journey. And, it's taken me years of listening to you to be able to grasp a lot of this stuff. And even now when I listen to you, I still, we do these together, I still get gold nuggets from it. So, I'm trying to reflect back to where I was when I started the journey. There's so much information to take in. So, if that's, part of the problem, I mean, that's kind of why I created the GPTs along the way, to try and help, so they can sort of do a bit of brainstorming that with them, and help them get unstuck. But, if there's just anything that you need to know, or about the journey that we're on, or that, just, like I said, take advantage of those calls, because they're going to be gold for you, and obviously they'll be gold for us, because we can work out how to serve you better.
Right.
So,
So I've just put the Calendly link. I put my own personal Calendly link in there, guys. I want you to book a call with me and Dave. So just go book a call with my time. I'll
yeah,
reflect back to Dave to see if he's available. If he's not available, we'll just communicate. We'll figure out a time where all three of us are available. Most
yeah,
of the time, Dave's available for when I need him. So just go ahead and use my calendar. Let's get it booked in,
yeah,
and let's get the three of us onto a call, and
yeah,
we'll deep dive. Now, I've been intentional about really pulling that up here at this stage of the game, especially at day 9 in this journey, right? Because we're going to offer you probably around about 3 opportunities through the next 30 days to take advantage of these calls. This is that next level sort of Q&A support. But also, guys, this is content for us, because
yes,
this is, and I'm going to start talking about content pillars in a second and all that sort of thing. But see, what we're doing right now is a version of content that could be called, let's call it market research, right? So I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this conversation. Now, if you're 12 months after the fact, this is probably not relevant to you because we've already probably created that. However, I will throw a caveat in. If you want to know a different new tool or something like that, then let us know, because we'll go and figure it out. We'll learn it, we'll do it, we'll teach it, and we'll bring it into a bonus content. And I spoke to Dave about this the other day. So we're going to use this as a signature program, as an evergreen thing, and how we're going to keep it relevant to today, even now and 12 months down the road, is we'll create a bonus section for you all. Because a lot of what we just went through is a lot of evergreen type content. I really feel that the way that we're using AI and supporting you to find your voice and build a magnetic brand, like we're talking about human to human interaction, that's never going to really change. The how might change on how we communicate that and the tools that we do. So we'll create a bonus section for that. So this is us doing market research to be able to serve you in the best capacity possible, because we're not mind readers. We can use AI as a second brain, and we can do a very deep dive and we can make some assumptions, but unless we're asking great questions, we're not going to get great answers.
Sometimes I think it's a mind reader.
I want you to really drive that one home. If we're not asking great questions, we're not going to get great answers. Now,
Right.
some of the best content that I've personally been able to get out there is I use my content actually as a tool to process shit.
Yeah.
You probably see me. Like I'll have a conversation, I'll have an interaction with someone, and then I'll reflect on that, and then I'll go share the wisdom and my insights off of that. I put up a post there the other day about I'm no longer going to tolerate gossip. Well, that was because someone was on my profile in my post slandering someone else, gossiping to me about someone else. And if they're gossiping to me and I brought them into my circle of influence, you better bet your bottom dollar they're probably going to gossip about me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wrote some content about that, and I said I'm no longer going to tolerate gossip.
No.
My wisdom that I've been experiencing the last, few weeks is about this high energy, high income conversation. And I've been processing that. I've been sharing those thoughts. See, this is attraction marketing. This is what people really want to know. They want to know that you're on the same wavelength as them. How can they know that if you're not sharing that? And this is what I say every opportunity, every lesson, every conversation, every interaction, every failure, every mistake, as long as we're living life above the line, taking ownership and accountability and responsibility, and we're transparent and vulnerable to a point, and we're putting that out there in a way that is us being human about it, but in a way that is a leader about it, not a whinger and a whiner about it. We're not sharing our dirty laundry. We're not sharing the drama for the sake of sharing the drama. We're sharing it to help pull people up and elevate the vibration. So we're going to talk about content pillars here. We're going to move into this conversation. And this is what I want to leave you with today. But, because now you've found your voice, right? You've gone up to this point. If you've been doing the work, you'll have found your voice. And you'll now have some structure to it after yesterday's discussion with the customer value journey. And now you're sort of, figuring out how to express that voice. Well, that's what we're going to move into now. We're going to help you to build the systems to keep your message consistent, relevant, and visible. So the goal of today's workshop is you'll leave with what we're going to call a content pillars, content themes, and a draft content calendar. Dave's gone ahead and put a custom GPT together for us to help facilitate this conversation. I'm going to throw it over to Dave towards the end of this, but let me get into the theory, the psychology of it all. See, pillars, let's give you some reference and frame points here to interpretate some of this language. So pillars are categories that represent your brand identity and your expertise. For example, right? Dave's all about the AI guy, and he loves his, so a content pillar for him is prompting. You'll see Dave show up. You'll put all these together, these amazing prompts, because he wants to be able to share that with you to help you to get unlocked and unlock your bottlenecks and empower you. And then that's Dave's next pillar. Dave's next pillar is that leadership conversation. Whether he knows it or not, he's leading by example and he's sharing his leadership lessons along the way. Dave, what would you say are some of the other topics that you've been sharing that you're comfortable to share online?
I guess, well, more sort of, I guess, a little bit on the personal side. It's just, about my overall journey and
The
things
lessons.
that happen. But I guess the main things is, I guess, ways that AI can help people.
Right. So,
You know,
so it's
really.
very much about how to empower people to leverage AI. Now, I'm going to challenge you, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a technical
Okay.
issue. No, just give me 1 sec. I'll be back, and
When
I'll
Dave comes
fix this
back,
little
I'm actually
problem.
going to challenge Dave because here's the thing: I want to challenge all of you. I want you to stop being so vanilla. It's time to, really elevate our personality and our brand. And you can only have a magnetic brand when you've got some depth and color to it. If your brand is beige, what I mean by this is your brand is one-sided. It's one color. You get all the colors on the spectrum, you need to bring in some different colors, right? And so Dave is very heavy on the AI conversation. And I love that about Dave because that's what he's obsessed about. But what I'm going to challenge you, Dave, to do is to start sharing more of the family side of things, more of the fishing side of things, more of the dad joke side of things. And I can get myself into these buckets as well. Don't get me wrong. This is very hard to do, but AI gives us structure and systems to be able to facilitate this conversation.
Yep.
Now let's stop being vanilla. And what I'm talking about here, and this is why we're talking about content pillars, is it gives us depth. We want to have like we're a diamond, right? And if you look at a diamond, there are multiple facets to the diamond. It's still the same diamond. You go to the middle, you still get the same DNA of that thing, right? But there are faces to it. And the way that we attract, you know, different people in our community is by sharing the different sides of the faces of the diamond, right? And so I love to talk about my faith. And I love to talk about that journey and how it's transformed me. If you have to look at the overall arching bucket, the primary thing that I talk about, the DNA of it all, if you will, for me, it's that value call of ultimate ownership. But if I go deeper than that, it's the value of helping people transform. You look at everything that I do, the LA Tribune, the online church, what I'm serving here, and the way I show up as a parent, the way I do travel, the way I do life, the DNA of it is it's that transformation. It's that growth journey. And I just share that growth journey from different facets. So, what is your base DNA level? What is that thing that you could get up and do a TED talk without any preparation and you could go talk for 2 hours without even thinking about it?
Unfortunately for me, it's only going to be AI.
AI is the surface level, mate. What is it about AI that is really got you passionate about it? Can I call it out what I see?
Yeah, sure.
I see is the AI is just the tool. AI is just the vehicle.
Mm.
What you're about is helping people save time. What you're about is helping people unlock freedom.
Yep.
So you need to talk more about that. See, people don't buy
Notes.
what we do, people buy why we do it. You getting this? And
Yes, I am.
I've been intentionally waiting to do this for Dave because I know he's a recipient and he's a great coachable person.
Yes, again.
Right? He's taking notes down.
No
And,
excuses.
I'm taking my own notes down, mental notes, of course.
Yeah,
Right.
if I don't write it down, I'll be off with the fairy. Squirrel will come in and it'll be gone.
So, what is the thing, share in the comments here, what is that thing that you just can't shut up about that you haven't been able to um or you haven't wanted to express because you've been scared to express it? What is that thing in your heart that you don't know how to express, but you want to give a vocabulary to it? What is that thing that really gets you up out of bed, that you fall in love with, that you get addicted about? What is, because unless you've got that thing, then yeah, talking about content left, right, and center is going to be hard. Yeah, posting 10 times a day is going to be hard. I can't shut up. Can you notice that? I'm obsessed. I've got something to say and I need to say it. So social media has given me a platform, and it gives you a platform too, to express and elevate our voice. I'm going to keep driving that voice framework home because that is the thing that I'm obsessed with. But if you look at that, if you go into the DNA of it all, once again, the voice framework's just a vehicle to facilitate transformation, leadership. That's the thing that I'm really obsessed with, if I've got to call it out. And I've only been identifying clearly on what this is over the last few weeks, months. But you've got to start somewhere. When I started this journey with Dave 3 years ago, I was obsessed with helping people unlock AI, just like Dave is right now, right? But unless you start going down the rabbit hole and start digging into it, you're not going to get this level of clarity on where you're at. And you'll get some success, you'll get some traction, and then you won't. And then you'll figure it out again. And every time you get to that point where it's not working, where it's starting to feel forced, where it's starting to feel hard, this is the conversation I want you to come back to. You know, like I can see my own momentum and my own traction at the moment because I'm obsessed. I'm in flow. I'm in alignment with where I'm called to be. So what is that calling for you? Because Joseph McClendon put up a reel the other day and it just really drives this nail home. Until you find that thing that you're here to do on this earth, until you find your purpose, I'm sorry, life is going to be hard. It will be. It is hard. It's taken me 42 years to figure that out. And if you're 75 and you're 83 right now and you still haven't figured it out, that is okay. It takes as long as it does. There is no race to this. There is no comparison to this. There's just the maturity level of this. And there are a lot of 60-year-old men who are walking around like 3-year-old children because they haven't done this type of work. Just sharing some stuff off my heart there. Anyway, let's get back on track with this. So these pillars that we talk about, these are the characters the categories that represent your brand identity and your expertise. Now let's change that word from expertise. Let's change it to experience. Let's change it to wisdom. Let's change it into the thing that we're choosing to go all in and be obsessed and maturing. Now, the themes here are the specific ideas or angles within those categories. So we've got to get clear on what your top 4 categories are, right? So these are, I'm going right now through the 3 keys to being consistent, to being clear in your content creation. So pillars is number 1. Number 2 is your themes, specific ideas or angles with those categories. And number 3 is your calendar. Your calendar is going to be the thing that keeps you on point, that keeps you talking about and you don't go off on different tangents. But when you do go off on different tangents, hey, guilty. Very guilty.
Yeah.
Dave's tried to get me to run a calendar now for the last 12 months without impossibility because I'm all over the place. But I'm getting more laser focused and I'm getting structure in there because of this conversation. See, the calendar is your rhythm. Your calendar is your drum beat. Your calendar is your system to help you to keep showing up. For me, I started with calendars. It got me going and I was off to the races and it gave me the habitual disciplines that I needed. And now I don't really need calendars. See, but it got me through that transformational point. So if you struggle to show up daily, if you struggle to show up 5 times a day, whatever it is for you, it's the key theme here is about consistency. Consistency is king. It's taking that massive action to keep you moving forward, right? And once again, I just keep driving this home. You confuse them, you will lose them. Your pillars give you some structure. They give you faces to the diamond for you to be robust, to be colorful, to not talk about just the one thing. Because what happens without these pillars, it's very easy to get stuck in ruts. It's very easy to get blinders on and just talk about the one thing. I'm guilty of doing it. And so when I call it out on Dave, I'm also calling myself out for doing it as well. We're all guilty of doing it. So this is where we need to, share 2 to 3 examples of our content pillars, So I've given you some examples of what mine are, or what Dave's are, sorry. Let's give you some of what mine are. I love to talk about mindset. You notice that. I love to talk about my faith. I love to talk about that growth journey on that space. I'm obsessed with marketing, but what I'm really obsessed with is the leadership conversation inside marketing, is the transformational journey, is the buying psychology, is understanding how to get people to get into flow with this space. Look, I talk about money objections and money blocks and money growth points. I talk about goal setting. I talk about the dad life. I talk about freedom stories. I talk about success stories. I talk about transformation stories. I talk about challenging stories. Guys, all I'm doing is I'm writing, one of these days I'll bring this whole thing into a biography, but I'm writing my biography day by day. And that's what you're doing too, whether you realize it or not. Social media is not designed for us to be promoting left, right, and center. Right, promote. It's not designed for that. It's designed for us to be social, but then let's unpack that. What does that mean to be social? I love what Gary Vaynerchuk does and how he really sort of helps sort of shape the narrative. What he's doing is, and what I want you to do from here on out is to document the journey more than you promote. That's the simple lesson right there. This ain't hard. So that when I mean by you document your journey, like when I look back, even when my first success, it was ignorance on fire versus knowledge on ice. It was naivety, and someone said just go do it, so I did it. But what I did was I did a 100-day blog challenge. I documented the journey. And then I started to build trust. I started to build influence. I started to build a connection. And then away we go, right? So yeah, look, there are spaces to do one-liner statements. There's long-form content. There's short-form content. There's post. There's audio. There's video. There's podcast. They're all different styles of content. But what you really want to bring it all down to is it's about using the styles of content to be able to be in your flow. And it's all about how do your people consume their content. There are other questions we've got to ask. But what it's really about, it's about documenting the journey. It's about documenting your growth journey. And then in that space, when you go through the customer value journey, like we talked about, there becomes the opportunity to put the right product in front of the right people at the right time. So right now, look, if I've got to give you some, basically 3 things that I'm working on, each of these 3 things have the same flow, have the same systems, have the same processes, but then you can blend them in together. Right? What I want you to work on is just your one thing first. Don't be trying like me. I'll outwork you every day of the week. I'll outrun you every day of the week. Not physically. I'm pretty fat. But online, I'll outrun you.
Exactly. Me too. But I'll definitely won't outrun you.
That's because I'm empowered. That's because I'm in flow. That's because I've got the right tools and team and systems around that to go play that bigger game. So let's stop playing small games. Let's start playing bigger games. So let's play the content pillar game. So Dave, I'm going to help you to change your brand from being beige into colorful. You ready for it?
Yeah, why not? I need to get a couple of the other day's information off you too. I'm about to do a reset. In case you didn't notice.
I think after yesterday's conversation, I am too.
Yeah.
The AI.
Yeah. There might be a platypus riding around on a shark, or there might just be a mechanical shark. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But we will find out.
I also want to acknowledge the journey. What Dave's done up until this point is beautiful. As what's got him here won't get him where he needs to be. And it's the same for me and it's the same for you. But we've got to do what we've got to do to get here. And so do you. But you need to reflect that this is about leveling up. And every time there's a level, guess what? There's a devil.
Yep.
I mean, on that devil, we got to jump. It's like the Super Mario Brothers game, right? Yeah. I went to Super Nintendo World in Japan. I got to meet Bowser in person. It was like, I highly recommend going to Osaka and going to Super Mario World. Fuck, that's amazing. Anyway, so the game there, you basically jumping Bowser's head, and that's what we've got to do in life, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Every level has a big boss. And that big boss we need to conquer to be able to get to the next level. And I love to reference this is what this entrepreneurial journey is like. It's just a game of life. So it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to realize that you've got to go kill that monster 100 times before you actually kill that monster to level up. I don't know. I don't know if you're a gamer or anything like that. Like I think most of us, 40 and under, we're probably gamers.
Yeah, me. I used to just build the gaming computers for the people who were gamers. I couldn't be bothered gaming. I don't have time for
Right. So,
that.
but the metaphor here is still relevant. I'm sure you could find a metaphor that it would equate to the generation the older, right? But I know one of my very first games that I played was Sonic the Hedgehog. And playing Sonic the Hedgehog, the first 5, 10, 15 levels were easy. They're meant to be easy. And that's a little bit like life. It's meant to be easy to get you into the game and to get you to start leveling up. And when you level up, you got that recognition, you start to feel victorious. And this is how we go, right? This is life. But then it gets hard. It gets frustrating. And it's meant to get hard and frustrating because this is life. Life doesn't actually get easier, it actually gets harder. But we get stronger, we get wiser. And we know that when we get to level 20, sometimes we've got to, do the reset. We're going to get, we get to the big boss, we get killed, and then we're going to start the whole over again to get to the end of that level, and then you get killed. And sometimes I know when I was playing the game, I got so determined that I would never give up. The give up attitude was not there. Sometimes I would get killed 100 times before I actually conquered that. But here's the thing, and this is the lesson I want to drive home. Each time I got up to that stage of the level, I had some pattern memory. I had some, muscle memory. I knew that this guy was going to punch right there at the very start. So if I punched left, that's how I could get to the next part. And then I knew if he was going to do an upper kick, I needed to jump, right? So you start to create this muscle memory each time you go up against the big boss.
Yeah.
Until you've got enough wisdom and experience to know the moves that the big boss is going to make until you can conquer the big boss. And then we level up. And guess what? You're going to go through the same pattern again, and it's going to be a little bit harder next time. And then instead of 100 times to get to the next level, you might have to kill that boss 200 times. Guys, this is the entrepreneurial journey I'm describing, not just a game. This is life.
It is.
So Dave, you're at the stage here in your game where you're about to hear, and finally you've got the cheat code to go kill the big boss. So let's go.
Let's go kill him.
Settle up. I'm giving you the cheat code right now. You ready for it?
You are. Let's go.
All right. I'm going to give you this. This is a rapid fire brainstorming game. And for you watching along, I want you to follow along with Dave. And then I want you to pause this video and I want you to go back and play this game with yourself. All right? So.
It's not yet.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you, man, is I want you to express your heart. The things I want to the top of your head and mind. I don't want you to think about it for too long. Because if you stop and think about it for a minute, I'm going to go, hey, we're going to start the game again. Right?
Failed.
How's
Failed.
All right. You ready to have some fun?
Right on. Yep.
All right. So rapid fire brainstorming questions. I'm going to ask you right now. Let's go. What are the 3 to 5 top things you'd love to speak about every day? Go.
How AI can help people, well, I guess now that we use the terminology, amplify their voice, how they can increase their productivity, how it can, help their bottom line, how people can...
Brilliant. Okay, we've got the AI conversation. Let's get outside of the AI. What are some of the top 3 to 5 things outside of that conversation you'd love to talk about every day? Go.
Fishing.
Right.
Environment.
Yep.
And family, I guess.
Okay. Now, can you see how you can start to blend the two together so you can start to get some more color to this? And I would encourage you to start talking about your faith journey. I think that
Yes.
and leadership journey, right? These are things that we can start to talk about that gives us more robust view of this.
Yeah.
What it also allows us to is it allows people to see us. How can we expect people to see how we see them if we can't be seen? How can we expect people to be known if we can't be known? How can we expect people to love us if we can't love ourselves? All right.
Yeah, cool.
Let's go. What are the 3 to 5 things people do that they always come to you for help with?
Copywriting, how to learn how to fish with the family, how to create custom GPTs,
Right.
how they can use AI to improve their workflow, I guess.
Right. So start talking more about these things, like giving people prompts and all that sort of thing. That's a bit what you do, right?
Mhm.
Let's start leading with more of the why and the how, and then give them the what.
Yep.
These things, because like giving the custom GPTs to people that expect them to know what to do with them, it's like that's where they get the headlights and they got confused mind, right? Confused mind takes no action. Confuse them,
Yep.
you will lose them. So if we start using topics like around these things that you're passionate about, you can start to mesh and blend and intertwine these different facets of the diamond. Right. Next question. What are the 3 to 5 things a part of your mission, a part of your message, a part of your expertise that you love to talk about?
Life, freedom, and travel, I suppose. Fishing again. About reflecting on my mission is really how I can help people improve their, I don't know, work situation, their business situation through the use of AI and personalizing it.
So when we went through our whole values thing, you remember one of the big values there were basically unlocking people from burdens and giving them life of freedom?
Yep. That.
That's the why for you, right? So
Yep.
start documenting that part of the story, that part of how you do what you do in that space and why you do it and what you do. And then this will start to give you that more colorful look. This will start going from black and white into color.
Yep. I know
How's
what I
that
got
make,
to do.
how's that make you feel?
Yeah, no, good. It's a good, it'll be a good change up for me because, yes, a lot of my stuff is very consistently the same,
So
but for
this
a purpose
becomes,
for some reason.
right, this becomes your pillar set, right? So if you look at a house, you've got to have pillars, right? If you look at a chair, it needs 4 legs for it to be balanced.
Yep.
And here's the trick to this is you got to find out a way, and I've yet to find out a way to stay balanced. I don't think there is such a term really, but this is the ultimate goal where we're working towards in a perfect world that you would talk about these pillars in an equal amount. There's always going to be one where it's going to be top heavy or something like that. That's just the obsession. But when it starts to get out of flow, out of alignment, this is the conversation we need to come back to.
I just had a light bulb moment where I know what I got to do. I got to go and get the transcripts for the last 8 days,
Right?
and see
Okay.
what things we've spoken about me, and
Right.
then some
And,
more deep diving to do.
and then there's also the content that we had yesterday, and then there's every company. So this is where massive action takes place. But what this is doing, guys, is the goal of this is to put you into position to have conversations.
Yeah.
Because it's in those conversations you'll dig up the gold to be able to get you to move forward. The more gold you collect, the richer you'll be. Ooh, geez, I love my shit. I love my brain the way it works sometimes. I've got my own light bulb going off. But
Exactly.
right, so but this has come through maturity. This has come through experience. This has come through wisdom. And I only do what I teach in that space. Right. So, sharing these golden drops, these golden nuggets, this is the attraction point of this whole conversation. Right. So if you're playing along, let us know what are your content pillars in the comments. Right. We want you to start really playing along with us. We need to know that you're doing the work here. And if you're getting lost in this, we're going too fast for you. Guess what? That's okay. This is meant to be a little bit overwhelming. This is meant to be fast because this way we're doing this is for those who really want to take action. They'll go back through and watch day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 times until it sinks in, until it becomes second nature. Right? This is 16 years worth of wisdom being distilled into 30 days.
And
So
that's what I love about these things because, yeah, even me, I'm still learning heaps of crap. So,
yeah, but
it's
what
awesome.
I'm saying is I acknowledge this is a fire hose worth of information.
Mm.
And,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
right now, right now, you're probably, exploding with information. I get it, but we're designing this whole thing for you to go back through. So go through it once, go through it twice, then the third time, go through it and start implementing it. So do whatever you need to do to get into that stage, but just know that learning and growth is meant to be messy and hard for a reason. And this is where it says to be grateful for your trials and tribulations, right? Because this is the character building stuff. This is the maturity level building stuff. This is us teaching you how to fish so you can fish for yourself. Right, so let's move into a flow, right? Let's move into what we call a calendar. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an example of what I have for my calendar here in this space, right? And something that ChatGPT has helped me to come up with that. So, and then we're going to move into the practical, and we're going to plug AI into this conversation. Dave's going to walk you through his ChatGPT that he's built because I gave
I
him
know nothing about it, so it's going to walk us through it.
I see what I did was I gave Dave my run sheet, I gave him the prompt packed, and I gave him the workflow of what we're going through today's discussion. And he's put this custom GPT to do the heavy lifting for us, to ask us the right questions, to pull the information it needs from you to be able to get you into flow.
Let's see.
Right. So here's a bit of a weekly. Now, here's the thing. Dave and I have experimented on doing 90-day content calendars. That got reduced down to 30-day content calendars. And then that's got reduced down to 7-day content calendars. This world's fast. Things move too fast to be locked into something and speak about for 30 days. However, I've now come back down to, for me, what works for me, and you've got to work out what works for you. For me, I love a hybrid approach.
Yep.
I need to, I'm obsessed, right? And I'm in this day in, this is my life. I live this day to day. And I don't have a job. So I understand for those of you who still got jobs, that time is a challenge. So yes, making sure that you put at least one post out every day is the objective, and start there. You start with what feels comfortable for you to be consistent with. I'm at the point where I'm posting 10 times a day. Now, I understand that that's overwhelming for most people. But if you look at people who like what myself, Dave, Austin Armstrong, Jonathan Mast, this is our life. We're obsessed with this, and this is how we serve in this capacity. And this is where we want you to get to in that space, right? So don't go try and compete with us, is what I'm trying to put in here. Just start. And
Exactly.
we can
Got to start
start.
somewhere.
We can start with this whole flow is looking at Monday through to Sunday. And this is my flow, right? This is what ChatGPT is asking me to stay on my flow. So Monday, I can talk about mindset/message, mindset/vision mission. Tuesday, I can talk about tips and training. Wednesday is talking about wins and wisdom. Thursday is talking about throwbacks and testimonial. Friday is talking about future vision and funnels. Saturday is talking about selfies, story, behind the scenes. Sunday is about soul, rest, faith, and family. See what it's doing there. If you look back and reflect yesterday about the customer value journey, our goal for our content is to move our people forward. Well, it's layered that in, and it's looking at how our content can take people forward on a weekly basis. Now, I could take those 7 points and I could go, right, I'm going to talk about that today in these 7 points. And that's probably a light bulb moment for me, right? I'm on a 10 post content a day challenge where I could start to now look at presetting this out. I could block out 2 to 3 hours out of my Monday, go get my content and flow, and talk about 7 points of content. So, or I could do that over 7 weeks of content, do one a week. So what it's about, guys, it's about consistency. It's about keeping that robustness to it also. We don't become just black and white, we become colorful. That's the main thing here. This is about rotating through the pillars across the week to maintain that variety, but also more importantly, to maintain that alignment. The calendar isn't the cage. This is what used to be my block, is I used to hate calendars because I used to think this was a cage that was containing me. But I had to reframe that. The calendar here, what it is it's a compass to keep us on our true north. to get, it's the GPS to help us to keep on track. It's the GPS to keep us in alignment. So, Dave, let's go into the practical side of this. What I want to do now is just quickly give them two things. And this is me working in ways to help you to, work in your flow and your style. Now, so what I used to do was I used to just give you these prompt packs. So act as a content strategist. I want you to help me to identify 5 main content pillars for my personal brand. I help put your audience description in there, put your product transformation there, with your methods and how you do it, that type of thing, based on why I should with my content categories. Example, right? Gives you an example. So that's prompt 1. So find and refine your content pillars. Prompt 2, is now start building out the ideas for each pillars. And so there's a prompt there for you to go and facilitate that conversation. Then put it into a calendar flow for prompt 3 with that prompt stacking, and then using this to help us to generate those content and keeping it aligned with the customer value journey as well as that bonus. Then we're going into different styles of content in that space, right? So I'm going to give you this prompt packed here anyhow, so you can still go play around with that. Let me just drop that in the comments for you. And then with Dave, what Dave's gone and done, I love the way this brain guys works. He's gone and just said, right, I can make that simpler. I can make that faster. We can actually go and play around with a custom GPT with that. And he's gone ahead and put together this one.
Well, again, let's see what happens. It haven't even pressed the start button yet, so let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I literally gave it half an hour before we got on today's call. So this is us doing a beta test.
Yeah, pretty much again.
All right, let's make sure I've got the audio ticked here. We'll use our voice prompting or dictating at least.
Yeah, it's down the bottom. I can see it down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Well, not the Zoom one, but
it's got the dictate. Oh yeah, voice mode. Yeah, okay. Use either or. Doesn't matter. Dictate's probably actually fast. Let's do a dictate voice, especially this style anyway. All right. So you found your voice. Now it's time to give it structure. Right. So what I could actually do, Dave, where we need to really think about this for pulling all this together, because I know you could use the @ symbols. Can we still use? No, we worked that out, but they moved that.
Oh, you might be able to. I don't know. Some people say it's working, and some people are saying it's not. And I haven't been able to get it to work.
Not working for me either. So when you've got, we need to pull in yesterday's information. So no, the voice training information. So it was that one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So let me just copy that whole lot, so we can keep each bot and take the work that we've been doing, right? So we're building on it, right? We're not just having to start again from fresh.
Correct.
So I'm just copying the whole lot what we've done. I'm just going to put that on a PDF.
Or you can just paste it straight in there.
I could do it that way. I want to show people how to do it this way too.
Yeah.
So, and this is also for me for saving it for reference point as well. I know this is
somebody's learning.
Also a combination of you and me though too. That's the problem. That's the problem for my own personal stuff though.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Well, I actually noticed if I just go to normal ChatGPT and ask it a few questions, it always throws the lifestyle dad's stuff in there as well.
That's not a bad thing. We are in partnership.
Yeah, but I just laugh at it.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's interesting.
All right, so let's come back to Dave's, right? So now
Spying on me.
Start content. All right, so discover your 3 content pillars. Learn how to do AEI for 30 days. Scroll up in content. All right, so section 1, pillars, theme, calendars. So it's going through each of those examples that I've just done the training on for you. Then it's got the section 2, content pillars, game. It's got that game that we just played with Dave there.
Yeah, I tried to make this one a little bit more informational as well as training. So
cool. All right, well, let's just recap there quickly. And did you take notes when I asked you these questions?
No, only no. No, I only took the the stories, fishing, family, and time freedom notes.
That's cool. No, that's right. So let's just play the game again quickly, and we'll dictate it now to give the GPT the information just off the top of your head. So think about what energizes you. Think about what you're passionate about. Think about what you could talk about for hours. What are the top 3 to 5 things that you love to talk about every day that you can't shut up about?
Okay, well, I think we'll run with fishing, family, and how I can help people implement AI into their business and or their, I guess, employment role
I
to
would just
amplify their voice.
help people to unlock their bottlenecks to help them to run a bigger, faster game to keep them in their genius zone.
Yeah, that'll do.
AI
That
is
sounds good.
able to help you facilitate that.
Yeah.
Right, let's go with that. All right. So what do friends, family, or colleagues or clients ask you about? What's your natural expertise? What are the 3 to 5 things do people always come to help you with?
Right.
Help you with.
I think I said, well, things to do with fishing was one of them, but I guess really they come to work out how to get, I guess, time freedom, improve productivity, how to use AI to sound more human, and how to implement AI into their business or
Well, if I
their
know that
employment
I
role.
reflect on our conversations that we've had, and I asked you to come up with your ideal role, what it looks like working with us, and it was basically a chief operating officer role. And
Yeah.
so I was looking at, the bottlenecks with LLD and looking at ways that we can run faster and the AI tools that you could help us out with that. So you are a project manager in that space, an operations manager in that space, a systems manager in that space, and you just leverage AI to help people to unlock their bottlenecks.
True.
So, guys, you need to be playing the same game with yourself. And if you need just that next level support with either myself or Dave, doing this for you in return, that's what we can be there for you to do that, right? That's what you can use those one-on-one calls for. We can go through the same exercise. I know that's what a lot of my one-on-one students really, pay for is this level of that guiding and mentorship, if you know what I mean. So, Dave, what do you want to be known for? What transformation do you help people achieve? What are the 3 to 5 things as part of your message, your mission, your expertise? Go.
Well, I love to help people with time freedom, I guess is one thing. Overcoming tech overwhelm, I guess, is another thing. How to be, more productive and use in the use of with the use of AI. I guess how to solve the problems, I suppose, like solve problems using AI without, sounding techie and make it sounding more human, I guess,
Love
and
that.
just um, yeah, giving them an opportunity to remove that tech overwhelm from themselves and feel comfortable in using AI in particular, I guess.
Brilliant. Love it. I always say, so you're a natural teacher and you need to lean on that more too.
Yeah.
See, guys, how to love ourselves and how to communicate our heart. We need to learn our strengths and weaknesses. We need to learn how we can be in that sweet spot, the ikigai spot that we're talking about, right? So this is sort of bringing that all together as well. All right, so ready to turn this into a content calendar? Yes, let's go. But yes, but I want you to use the reference. Hang on, let me dictate it. Yes, but I want you to use the reference points of the work that we've been doing with the voice framework that I'm about to upload as an attached PDF to give you that. So it helps us to go into the identifying our values, our mission, our vision, the origin story piece, the influence piece, knowing who it is we serve and how it is we can serve them and why it is we can serve them. The clarity piece on bringing the mission, the vision, the simple story that people don't talk about us in the room, and then the expression piece with our energy and our enthusiasm and our expression in the way that we show up for that piece. That's all attached on the PDF that I'm going to give you now. So I want you to reference our content calendars that we're about to build, making sure that we leverage these fundamental foundations. So, guys, that's how I like to prompt. I just like to riff off the top of my head and give it clear instructions. Is that a very, very strategic prompt? And, that's the thing. No. Does it get the job done? Yes, of course it does. So, there are, when you talk about Google VO free and all that sort of thing, there are special structures, that you need to the prompt. And sometimes the more detail and the more structure you can have, you get the better results. And Dave's going to go into that a little bit towards the end of this thing. But to just get it off the top of your head, just to get started, just to get moving forward, that's the best way I know how to do it. Dave, would you agree? Dave, you there?
Yeah, just use it as a conversational prompt is probably one of the easiest and works pretty well.
Right. So what I did was I attached the PDF. So you click down here and you go upload the PDF. So I've got the Google document, downloaded it as a PDF, went over here and I attached it. And then I gave it the reference point and I gave it clear instructions to use those reference points there. So it's pulling off that information source. You could do the same thing and say, I want you to reference XYZ website or, customer profile or whatever it is to get the job done. So you're giving it clear instructions. Actually, Dave, we'll do a whole masterclass on how to frame prompts and frameworks and give them, the understanding basics around that. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. Just another thing too, but hopefully it won't overwhelm me. If you end up with a really large file, I know you're using PDFs because everybody's familiar with PDFs, but if you end up sort of with a really, really large file that you want to upload into your GPT or Chat GPT, it's the beauty of saving into a Google Doc is you can save it as a .md file too. So
Okay, interesting. That's an advanced tip. We'll leave that for now, but yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So you've just combined content pillars discovery with your voice brand identity, and now you're going to align your weekly content calendar with everything you stand for. All right. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Now we're being able to express our hearts. So let's build your magnetic weekly content here. Now, guys, this is a reference point. The source information that it's using is from our last 9 days together, from my stuff, from Dave's stuff, and this is a blend, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to reference that. So it's not going to be ideal for Dave. It's not going to be ideal for me. It's going to be ideal for if you put us together and we had Siamese. Right. So, all right. So content pillars, lifestyle and leadership. Brilliant. AI for humans. Brilliant. Actually, this is for us, Dave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Productivity and performance. Brilliant. I could talk about that all day long. Systems and strategy. Wow. Yeah, let's go.
We've got 2 weeks there.
All right, so now we've got content to talk about. We don't have this problem of what do I talk about? It's let's go talk about it. Let's unlock that. So pillar productivity and performance. Why doing less with more clarity is my favorite product hack. So it's now giving you ideas. It's stimulating that creative side of your brain. And this is how we really partner with AI. Voice layer, truth and soul-led clarity, like strategic chart gliding, so like it's even giving you that E-piece. I love it. I love AI. Geez, I love it. It's like it is that second brain, isn't it?
Jeez.
Drone level AI mastery simplified, geez, that's good. AI for humans, system and strategy. See, AI is the primary thing of this conversation because that's what Dave is, right? The primary DNA is AI for humans. And you can see that that's the overarching thing, but then there's different facets to the diamond of that conversation. Lifestyle and leadership. I see a world where AI frees more Aussie legends to stay in their genius zone. Here's how. Man, Dave, I've just given you a content calendar. Meet the caffeinated kangaroo. How this silly catchphrase became brand gold. Let's talk about stories because stories connect people, as we've already discussed, right? Origin story plus expression. Sunday, rest is revenue. Here's why I shut the laptop and hit the water every Sunday. Right? That's still content. You could have that scheduled out. You could do that on Monday and have your tools do your work for you and actually be out on the road in the ocean on a Sunday. Being present for our family. I know that was Dave's big thing that he came to me for. Like the big problem Dave was looking to solve was how could I get going with this business? How could I build a business by design that is not reliant on me, but it gives me the freedom to be there for my family?
Exactly.
I know I've lost track of that message a little bit in my journey. I need to get back onto that now. Right. And this is essentially what we do, right? Because Remember the story, the first rocket that went to the moon, when it left Earth and went to the moon, it was only on track 3% of the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where it needs to be. This is your compass, guys, your GPS to keep you on track. So now it's given us a content calendar framework there, and now it's giving you some ideas. Now, okay, I love what Dave does. He always goes the extra mile and says, do you want to supercharge this? Now, so want to see how you can plug your content calendar into AI for 30 scroll stopping post ideas to use the exact pillars next? If yes, I'll walk you into the AI integration power prompts and demo them for your live pillars. Shall we start this and supercharge it? Let's go.
See what this does.
This is that partnership level, guys. I'm not using AI to replace me. I'm trying to expand on me. Boom sauce, baby.
It definitely is a mix of us, this one.
Well, but here's the game thing, what's Steve Irwin's name for? Crikey's Terry. Jeff Ross has got to be for boom sauce, baby.
Exactly.
Say it enough times, it'll stick.
Mm-hmm.
So act as a content strategist. Okay, so now it's giving us those prompts. Already done. Cool. Right. There we go. Now it's actually working through that prompt pack I gave you. And it's giving you some ideas here now. Let's go. See, now that the foundations are laid, my instructions are simple because it's now giving that two-way partnership. It's the expert bringing what it needs out of me. Look, this is what you would do with a social media manager, and someone working in the Philippines, an expert, right? It's now acting on that behalf. Sorry, I've just taken jobs away from social media managers. AI's done it for me. Sorry,
I took them away. I took them away and copywriters' jobs away years ago.
sorry, not sorry. But here's the smart part.
Exactly.
Is copywriters and social media managers, if they were smart, they would use this and it'd be more amplified, right? Because they've got their experience, their wisdom that they can to help shape the nature of the conversation.
I love the second one there, the top line. Pillar 2, AI for humans. Now the next, Pillar 2, yep. I made AI sound like a bloke at the pub, then a robot. He's out.
Brilliant. All right. Wow. Dave, you outdone yourself again, mate.
Yeah, I'll have to get you to share that one and yesterday's one because I need to alter them a little bit, but I need some of that information for me. There's some good ideas in there.
This is how we start to brainstorm. This is how we start to unlock that creative side of our brains. This is how we can go post 10 times a day. I can't shut up because AI has unlocked that space in me. And I've got something to say and I'm proud about it and I'm confident about it. This is our goal for you. Our plan is to walk you through this mastery course, but the end goal is for you to be in a position where you found your voice, you're expressing your voice, you're elevating your voice through your content marketing mastery. And I just love this. I can see where we're going down a rabbit hole. We're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this. So guys, what we need from you is to start really taking action. Share your 3 content 5 pillars for this one. Choose your weekly rhythm post and go share that in the group. Use this as that safe space to do the testing and measuring before you're ready to go out in the public. I get it. It's a daunting experience. There's some viewpoints around there. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if people judge me? I get all of that monkey chatter brain noise. That's exactly what it is. When you get to this point in your purpose, in your heart, and in your expression, that monkey brain chatter just becomes noise. It's a distraction. Anything there to still kill your destroy your joy, to distract you from it, that is the ultimate work of the evil one. Call it what you will, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, we're talking about energy transfer. That's a low energy conversation. This is about igniting that high vibration, that high energy conversation. And the reason I can do what I do with AI so well is because of the 16 years experience and lessons and wisdom that I have to partner with it. So don't go comparing your level to my level, Dave's level to Dave's level, or any of that, right? This is what we're here for. Lean on us, leverage us, use us, as well as you're using AI. Dave, mate, I love this journey with you, man. And I love you.
Me too.
I
yeah.
really wouldn't be able to do what I do without you. You know, we complement each other really, really well. And I just love this community that we're building. You know, I love people taking massive action like Celeste and Daryl. Like, this is what our heart space is. This is what we're called to do.
Yep. And I discovered something. I think I'm on the verge of discovering that maybe the pumped up platypus is a bit plain.
And you know what? If that is the case, that is okay. And that here's the thing, right? That makes brilliant content. Sharing that wisdom, sharing that those lessons. And for you guys watching in line here too, like, I love what Jeanette does. Jeanette gets on my one-on-one sessions and straight away she just actions the lessons and documents that. Yeah, if you're struggling to know what to do in this space, start there. Document the wisdom that you're learning, because if you're learning it, guess what? Other
Somebody
people
else will want
will
to.
learn it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's not about being selfish or like, it's not about being competitive or anything like that. This is about collaborating. Because here's the thing, right? We're going to implement, for us here, we're going to implement our own affiliate marketing program. We've dabbled in it, we've tried it. We're going to really dial this in. So we're going to give you the opportunity to start sharing these lessons with your people around it, because we know that we can help your people too. And we want you to become professional introductions, professional inviters, professional connectors, because that's a skill set in itself, right? And so if you've got someone in your circle of influence who you know that would benefit from these type of masterclasses, bring them to us. We'll explore what that looks like and we'll give you an affiliate commission for that sale. Now, is that in process right now, building that out? Yes. We're in a transitional point at the moment with that. But let's not let that stop us from moving forward and doing what we do best. We'll work out the mechanics and the logical side of if we have to do it manually, we'll do it manually. This is what it's about, building the plane out and flying at the same time. This is the entrepreneurial ride. Guys, we're no different to you. We're figuring this shit out as we go too.
Exactly.
We just want to figure out a few other things first, that we've got some foundations built. We're helping you to build your foundations too. This is where we lock arms and run together. And this is how we go have a bigger, wider impact together.
It's funny how it's just funny how each time that I go through part of the journey and start to grow and have a big realization is that it's time to shift and up level and reevaluate everything. Yeah, now I've got another few days of work to do.
And at the beginning of this journey, that conversation sounds exhausting and it keeps people away. I get it. Like, why would I want to start again? Why? But it's not starting again.
No.
It's building. It's building on the next level. It's drawing a line in the sand and saying, right, what's got me here is not going to get me where I need to be. This is the conversation we continually need to have about going from good to great.
Well, I think actually if I had it a little bit more often, then I wouldn't be in this. Yeah, I wouldn't find this happening. Well, it would happen, but I'd be on top of it. Instead of discovering it on the call, I would have known it and moved on. So, yeah, given me lots of, this has given me the last 9 days now. I was going to say 7 or 8 too, but 9 days now has given me a whole lot of internal joy, I guess, and clarity to where I'm going to go. Yeah.
Clarity unlocks that procrastination. Clarity is, well, confusion is the handbrake. Clarity is the pedal to the metal. Let's go, baby.
Exactly.
Right. And this is what happens. So when if you've got the handbrake on, if you find yourself in that world of overwhelm, procrastination, and not taking action, you got to come back to these conversations and go, all right, what am I confused about? Where is that next level of clarity that I need to then go do what I need to do? Because we all start off, we start off with a foot on the accelerator, not the handbrake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only time the time we should be putting the handbrake on is if we want to do some fun stuff with it and slide out and burn out and do some bloody, I'm thinking about my driving lessons when I learned to drive, and I went to a performance driving track, and they said, right, let's get this out of your system. Let's go do some let's go do some burnouts, let's go do some fishtails. Man, it was fun.
It was, I bet.
Once again, that was in a controlled, safe environment.
Yeah.
And I just had a light bulb moment myself here, guys. Let's get into this. Let's get into some donuts. Let's take the handbrake off. Let's go do some fishtails together in a controlled, safe environment. You got this group. Let's use it. Let's leverage it. That is your controlled, safe environment. On that note, I'm going to leave you all. Thank you for your time. Tomorrow, Dave, I'm going to throw it over to you. And
Hey, thanks.
we're going to pivot and adjust. We're going to start getting into content creation games and that sort of thing. Dave, I reckon the best place to start is going into prompting frameworks
Mhm.
and then using, let's start with, well, let us know what you want to start with. We can go written content, we can go images, we can go videos. I think we need to leave videos towards later. It's probably the
Yes.
best thing, the place to start is let's go use a very simple, an announcement. Let's talk about posting, like announcement post, story post, blog type post, article post, short form, long form content. But let's empower people with a bit of a prompting pack, like a framework on how they can use ChatGPT in that space. And then let's start getting into, written and images. We'll start there and then we'll move on from there. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, see, that's what we're doing. We're working this out on the fly. And we, if we need to, when we go back through later on, when we've got this spring, we'll look at it, we'll evaluate it, and we'll go, right, what's missing? And we can go back and fill the gaps. But you've got to start somewhere, guys. So thank you
Another
for starting
20.
with us. Let's get into gear.